bad Mary for that ooh too sweet playing. Welcome back, all you four-color funny book aficionados. This is US Comics Cast, HQ for all things comic book connected. We are John and Charlie Rivera, co-founders of US Comics, aka your Hall H Heralds. Charlie, happy comic book day, baby!
Happy comic book day to you, my dear brother, and happy comic book day to all of you joining us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. Do me a second. Take just a moment to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit that share button so you can keep this going. We are live tonight, so make sure you drop it in the comment section to say, what's what?
Okay. So, that all being said, Charlie boy,
Yes.
so much going on, man. Like, with all the catching up that an individual needs to do to stay on top of San Diego Comic-Con, one would have to imagine that they would look as tired as these two fathermuckers right here. Holy horse shit. So much news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. Let's be honest for the people. For once in our lives, let's be honest.
We're not brothers. Oh.
How much shit did you miss on a scale of 1 to kabillion, D? After the fact, like, oh snap, this, that, and the other? That is fucking crazy. Like, how, let me just ask you a life question.
Yeah.
How on top of shit, I mean, clearly we are on the East Coast. We were not in attendance like some other muckers that we know. How much stuff did you personally find out after the fact? Like, what percentage of shit were you just white knuckle on top of? Like it was prom night?
92.5%. Everything came to me like a day late and a dollar short.
Wow.
The only thing I relatively knew about in real time was like Kevin Smith's whereabouts. It's like, look at his crazy stand. It's just like the Quick Stop, but mini. You want a bag? You want this dope poster?
So basically, you were to Kevin Smith as that kid on Twitter was to Elon Musk's radar, airline radar, fucking where's your plane at right now?
Exactly right.
Nice.
Or to put it in terms that these nerds watching along can understand, I'm pretty much like the Watcher, but just of Kevin friends. I just like from a distance, I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Can you imagine if the Watcher
I can't
was
interfere.
Just that big, goofy, round melon and tiny little man dress? He's like, hey, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah,
Is that breakfast good this morning? It looked like you were really enjoying it. Damn, Watcher, a little bit of space, mother.
Not only can I imagine it, I suspect that's the vibe. Like when you have that vibe, like someone's watching.
Creeper vibe?
It's Uatu, or whatever the fuck his name is. Is Uatu the little guy that comes out of the belly? That's Quato. I am mixing up all my fictional characters.
Oh my god, that's
what
right, because
if Quato
at one
was
point
the Watcher?
I mixed up Quato and Krang, and then threw in a little bit of Master Blaster. I'm like, oh, but he wasn't in his tum-tum, he was up on top on his shoulders.
I think we just made the greatest crossover.
Yeah,
in
a
fantasy.
triple sandwich crossover. Just a gross over. But yeah, no, to me, it was actually pretty interesting because, as we all know, geeks, nerds, and shut-ins that we are, the DC news, the Marvel news, that stuff takes precedent. You know, that's the shit that you hear first. That's the stuff that like pops up on feeds that they have no business. You know, like
Nike.
You
guys hear about the new Thor? Like,
have a
Nike.
basement in your house, man. Like, what are you worried about this stuff? But it was interesting for me that like some of the most interesting shit because of multiple reasons, which we'll get into later. But a lot of the stuff that was dropped, the news, was kind of stuff I was expecting from DC and Marvel, and it was only like kind of smaller details. Whereas the indie shit or the non-Marvel DC stuff, was kind of like, that's a chin scratcher. That's a thinking emoji, if you can possibly find that. So one of the ones I'm sure you have several yourself, but for me it was kind of the redirect for the Walking Dead projects.
Yeah.
So we know the
The
Walking Dead comic
course
ended.
correction.
Yeah, well, whatever circumstance being what they are, who really knows what
I,
happens behind those
yeah.
zombie infested closed doors? But for anyone who doesn't know, prior to the show ending, we lost Rick, but not
Literally.
in that same way. He just got he got
Where the
abducted.
fuck he at?
He just flew away, and for the longest time they were saying, you know what, we're gonna get Rick movies. And we're gonna have these other shows and this, and the other thing. Nope, nope, nope. Now it's gonna be all shows, and basically the lineup ended up being significantly or significantly different to what I was kind of expecting. So we're gonna have Rick rather, and Michonne, the Rick and Michonne show. Like I'm just imagining a Laverne and Shirley esque beginning.
Oh, see,
Smile, Slamazel, hack, cut off a zombie head.
I immediately went Rick and Morty. I'm like, Michonne pulls up in a poorly cobbled together car, and she's just shit faced. She's like, "Come on, Rick," like Rick out again.
Very interesting. So you recast Walking Dead Rick as Morty.
Yeah. I'm a very creative guy.
Rick. Interesting.
I'm like very late season Simpsons.
Huh.
I go off on a side tangent.
I see.
For fucking shits and I'm like, no, we don't want to do what's expected. We want to do what's markedly bad.
Oh my god. But what else? So we have Daryl running around with his literal old lady. But yeah, we're getting shows.
Yay! I guess. Who gives a fuck anymore?
You know what? This is literally zombies have been walking around at this point longer than just like straight up regular people. Fine. I'll check it out. I'll give it its shot. But so what was like some of the indie news that caught your attention where you said, "Whoa"?
Again, for me, it was all about Clerks 3. Mainly because the thing I learned was about like consumers' direct impact on indie projects. So like forever, you and I have been screaming from the rooftops every time something indie comes our way that like everyone pick up a copy, pick up a digital one, pick up a physical one, because that's how people will know. And Kevin Smith dropped, I think, a fucking bomb.
Yeah,
and that's
no one, I think, except for a very, very small demographic of us and like maybe 30 other cats and kittens, had like walked into that situation with high expectations, and they were still blown away.
Yeah, and I think, again, for me, I think what was really, really interesting about it was the fact that Clerks 3 only exists because of the DVD sales of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. This is proof that a major movie studio was like, spend this amount of money, but in essence, make us a new DVD, and we'll do fucking 35 of this Jay and Silent Bob bullshit. And Kevin Smith said, challenge accepted. So to me, it's like, I immediately... I mean, again, I don't want to brag, but like we're going opening night to the Jersey premiere to like see Kevin stuff. We may also be going to his birthday because, again, I'm not saying I stalk Kevin Smith, but I'm saying I'm gonna.
But his lawyer does. His lawyer says that in actually those exact terms at the court proceedings. So that's always fun. That's always fun.
So,
we're very, very much looking forward to meeting the man.
Yeah, I mean, again, the man took over Hall H. It was after Marvel, so some people, I'm sure, just stuck around. But the crowd went nuts for the first 5 minutes of the film. Again, not to brag, I'm going to see the whole fucking thing pretty soon with my bubbling brother for his birthday. But that was the first thing where I'm like, holy fuck. Gotcha. Indie begins and ends with a black and white flick for me. This one's in color, I presume. But... I don't know. I didn't see the first fucking 5 minutes.
Those new color versions of a black and white movie.
That got me fucking 6 to midnight.
Super excited about it. But I mean, there was a lot of stuff else going on. Actually, for me, one of the big ones, which I did not know necessarily to expect this content, but I walked in as such a fan prior and as an unexpected fan. National Treasure, Edge of History. getting that long form action. Cousin Paul, yeah, was showing off. If not us, then who, Paul? If not us, then who? But yeah, no, I was super excited for it. Like there was content put out there behind the scenes, kind of like end product, and that's like one of those. I mean, if it's just two, can you call something a franchise? I guess. But
Very liberally, I suppose.
we only got the two real flicks, and look, we're gonna get Justin Bartha. He's gonna be there. Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's just yum yum delicious always. Who else? Who else? Lisette Oliveira and Antonio Cipriano, Jordan Rodriguez. I mean, this was one of those circumstances where you didn't necessarily know to look for. It's like opening up the fridge and seeing that tang in the back. I never know who mixed that shit up. Oh, what is up? Putting on your winter coat for the first time that year. Oh, $20 bill. What's up, baby? That was exciting for me, man, because I loved the first two flicks, and I'm really looking forward to this new one.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unexpected treat. How do you kick National Treasure out of bed? Didn't necessarily think I needed more, but it's like a Pringle. They're like, you want some more of that delicious, salty kind of chip? I'm like, yeah. Let's do that.
Pringles, fun fact, not potato chips. Literally never referred to as potato chips. They have never in their disgusting, salty lives been a potato. You could take that to bank. Jeopardy, I am here. I am waiting for you. What else were you juiced about?
Just talking about stuff, the pandemic era has caused this weird time loop I'm in because I equal parts still thinks it's 2019.
No, it's
and
not.
part of me thinks it's 2346.
Also not.
No part of me thinks it's 2022. But I didn't realize we're on the 13th season of Archer on FX,
Yes.
the most indie channel ever.
Boy,
Because
they
FX
have been
just
through
makes
a
shit.
lot. They have been through
I
a
think
lot.
I am the only watcher. I'm like, Dave is coming back eventually. But Archer, they did a season 13 preview. And while I don't know that Archer is like the hottest property 13 years in,
Always funny.
All it takes is the ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba. And I'm like, he's almost James Bond. I'm ready to go, man. Get your darkest, blackest turtleneck. Because let's fucking go. Never does that show fail to be
Tactical
funny.
turtleneck.
Fair enough. But
That's always the one I pull. Always.
Well, yeah, I'm never in like an Archer mood, which also means I'm never not in an Archer mood.
Yeah.
If it's on, I'm a watching.
Get to work, Archer.
Yeah.
Here I am. That's just a visual that if you're listening to this audio, be grateful because I grossed myself out just
I
now.
feel like someone's gonna cut that out.
Well,
and it's just gonna be just great meme fodder.
That's fine. That's fine with me. You know what? I'm actually. It's rare that Charlie surprises me.
What?
If it's not Christmas or my birthday.
True.
But I instantly thought that you were gonna go to the Cowabunga collection, dropping. They did get the official release date, and that's gonna be August 30th. So it's relatively soon. So I drink in this Charlie presence that we're enjoying right now because that shit ain't gonna be around much longer. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection, for PS4, 5, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, 13 classic TMNT games, including Turtles in Time for the SNES. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy.
Peace out, nerds.
Yeah,
I got shit to do.
Charlie, go bye-bye.
The other big thing, just playing with that nostalgia, tickling
gross.
me in the taint, but one
No.
that you get to fully avoid. Hasbro brought the thunder to this year's San Diego Comic-Con. The motherfucking Cobra led from G.I. Joe, but the Cobra Trouble Bubble is a coming. Like, are you jacking the entirety of my dick? Our boy Bill Burr getting his second action figure revealed at San Diego Comic-Con.
Deservedly so.
John, cover your ears, but the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, getting his first 2 WWE action figures now that he's back.
Traitor.
One of them being an Ultimate, which I'm not saying I bought for almost $50, despite Def not needing, but I did it. What if I never meet him and he could sign it? That would be so awesome. The amount of shit coming out, but I think the most indie toy product to come out, close personal friend, Matt Cardona, JK, he barely knows I exist, but he let me make a patch of him. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers have a wonderful podcast, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. They have a toy line. They make those little like rubber bendy figures. They have the Major Bendy line. They had all sorts of San Diego Comic-Con reveals.
Oh, like the OG WWE adult toy
Yeah,
figures?
yeah.
Nice.
They signed some of the best indie talent, some of the just barely indie guys who were on WWE TV or AEW TV yesterday. The amount of shit to buy coming out of San Diego Comic-Con more impressive this year
doesn't
than
stop.
any other.
And also not stopping Charlie's ability to surprise me, because yet again I thought that I could have accurately predicted his next pull, but fuck it, I'll steal it. Why not?
Pretty proud of me so far.
That sequel, the ultimate '90s kid crossover sequel, that literally only Charlie asked for in blood on numerous occasions. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the TMNT sequel gonna be dropping again soon. You're gonna see that. And I almost said we collectively. We ain't. You are though. Charlie is gonna be seeing that shit
out of that.
No. It's coming December. It's coming from Boom Studios together with IDW. And yeah, man, like it's Ryan Parrott and Dan Mora. They're coming back. So if you enjoyed the first go round, this is like a pure sequel. They ain't doing no Star Wars shit. They're like, well, here's a little something different for you.
Yeah.
No. This is gonna be more of the same. And that was very, very well received. So
I love more of the same.
That's good news, man. If you bought the first, you'll buy the second, and it's gonna be a continuation.
That is some good Charlie action. They're like, you like this old shit? We've repackaged it and would like to charge you again.
Honestly, it was like the Charlie, the Charlie Charlie Diego, which might be your middle name. I'm not sure. I gotta check your paperwork.
We'll find out.
Comic-Con. It was like all the news was specifically for you. It was incredible.
Well, I'll finish it off with another big reveal that at 3 a.m. I texted you the trailer when it was available online. But John Wick Chapter 4, do not pretend those aren't indie movies just because they're starring my boy. When John Wick 1 came out, that shit was like Iron Man. People were rolling their eyes at my boy Kanunu, and that motherfucker's hair looking beautiful. He only got 9 fingers now, but he is still I think he busted out some nunchucks in the trailer. Motherfucker got nunchucks, John!
John Wick is going to go on. He's definitely going to have double-digit sequels. There's no question. The only way that he could possibly have more sequels if he at some point was wearing a hockey mask and like little metal fingies. He just pumping sequels out like it was his job. I guess technically it is, but I'm not mad about it. I really am not.
In my heart and in my mind, there's one thing I hope. One day I feel like we will live in a world without John Wick movies. I feel like that character, unfortunately, on a long enough timeline, the fucking John Wick, it might be of old age. It might be in 2098 when the character's just like, fuck this shit. But I feel like he's going to be one, like, all I want is when the John Wick franchise comes to a close, I want one more thing. And that's I want a children's CGI movie about John Wick's dog getting revenge for John Wick dying. And that'll close the loop, and my heart will grow 7 to 8 sizes.
Now my question is this, and we do have to wrap up the topic, but if John Wick does indeed die of old age, as your original script calls for, on whom is... Oh, it's going to be...
DVG, Dog versus God, and it's subtitled because the dog's gonna be like, roar, roar, roar. And it's just gonna be like, hey, do you know what dog is spelled backwards? Boom, It's not going to be a good script.
What happens
it's
if
gonna
I'm
be,
streaming
oh,
with
son of a
someone
bitch!
from
Son of a bitch! Slapped in America! John Lick! Damn you!
Oh man, I wish that
is
we had
so good!
digital stickers to put on comments. Oh yes, YouTube
Slapped
coming
in
in.
America, I love
YouTube
you.
coming in with the winner. Look,
Slapped in. If you message me on Facebook, I will send you a prize.
You're not necessarily gonna like it.
Yeah, it'll
but
probably be something Ghostbuster
it'll be
related.
a prize. So yeah, Charlie, am I doing this with you, or are you ready to do this?
Oh, let's fucking do this, because the bottom line, my friend, is if you do not think John Lick is the greatest title for my CGI dog vs. God adventure film, well, then you would be like one George Toy Boy Lucas, because you would be a liar.
And I also wouldn't like you.
It's true, because
Han shot first. Clink.
I'm not going to forget to clink.
About time.
Woo!
Go.
Slapped in America. If you have an Instagram, hit me up there. Or just dock yourself by putting your address on YouTube. John!
All any one of the socials. Whatever you got.
I mean, maybe he's just a YouTube human. John, how have you felt about Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, Charlie, I'm glad you asked, because I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling too great about it.
Well,
Yeah, Joker, what's up, kid? Joker checking in from Twitter.
Fuck yeah.
Twitter, yeah. That's that purple stuff.
Twitch, the Twitch machine.
Twitter. Twitcher.
Joker may not know about this, but let's fucking talk Marvel. I'm just going to hit you with what's left in this phase, and then I'm going to tickle your tape, because we got we got phase 5 and we got phase 6 announced, bro.
It's a lot, man. It is a lot.
Goddamn kidding me, dude. I could not
Bone Weaver, what's up?
Wow, we have straight up our comment section is just fucking arguing. We got Bone Weaver joining us because we always need some love. Joker dropping the Thor was no bueno. Cousin Paul eagerly waits for Fantastic Four. That's going to be in phase 6.
Woof.
He
Forget about
phase
John
4.
Wick's dog. Cousin Paul has been waiting. Just, ever see like those dog videos where they're sitting and there's a tree on their nose?
Yes.
And you can see it in their eyes like, give it to me. Give it to me. And you could take that however you want to take it. That's how Paul is waiting for 4. Unbelievable.
4 will likely make him sore, but he got to wait all the way.
Thor will make him 4. What?
They put up those amazing graphics like Marvel does so well, where they just tickled my entire butthole. John, I'm just going to throw them all out there, and then we'll circle back. I want to hear what you're most excited for, right? Joker stream, let's not fight.
What I'm most excited
Perv
for?
Zeus is the best, yes. We got, in the next phase, we got Quantumania, Guardians 3, Loki Season 2, Blade, Agatha, Captain America, New World Order, which is just too sweet. We got Secret Invasion, we got Echo, we got The Marvels, we got Ironheart. John, we got Daredevil, Born Again,
It's
and
honestly
we have
as
the
if Marvel
Thunderbolts.
was trying to kill my brother. My poor little baby brother ain't hurt nobody on purpose. He did smash my head into the corner of a cabinet one time, though.
You had that
and,
coming.
Oh, boy. What I had coming was a blood transfusion because I was bleeding like a stuck pig. Holy shiza.
Which one tickled your taint the most?
Well, the thing is, like, we saw so many title cards. And it was interesting because it wasn't until a really deep on the throne examination of the famous, at this point, title card shot that we got from Hall H of all the upcoming projects coming, that I realized, they're making a distinction. One of the reasons why it seemed like so much content was because they made a distinction between big screen in the cinema as opposed to like a Disney streaming series. So you know, I would make a distinction there, but on the same token, it's just words. It's just pretty words and titles. And as we know, those motherfuckers are subject to change. So I am personally gonna stick with the one that gave me the visuals that just bubbled up from my undercarriage, gave me all the little flutters in my belly, and made me feel all the feels. And that's Wakanda Forever, baby.
Holy
Wakanda Forever.
fucking shit.
The trailer, on so many levels, worked as its own piece of art. The other day we were talking about how Clerks 3, Kevin Smith's upcoming project, that trailer was its own little piece of art.
Yeah,
it
man.
made you feel things. It made you laugh. You know, it made you a little nostalgic. It accomplished all these goals in this very, very small period of time. And a trailer making is the ultimate playing with somebody else's toys. They didn't produce any of those images. They didn't write any of that script. They didn't even film any of those fucking scenes. But they said, oh, give me a little of this, let me give some of that, and boom, 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 here you go. And it's something delicious. And the Wakanda Forever trailer was very much the same thing because I felt all the feels. Yes, Joker Stream, absolutely right. They could have gone many, many different ways for Namor, one of my personal favorite OG characters. No disrespect, Aquaman, but you suck. Something fierce.
No disrespect, I very much hate you.
I said no disrespect. Anyways, but yeah,
Poor Jason Momoa is like, that doesn't mean you
He's
can
like,
say
haven't I been through enough? Haven't I been through enough this week, John? You got to get on my case. Yeah, them going the Mayan route for Namor, I thought was just a Charlie trademark chef kiss, wherever he got that from.
I mean, I don't want to be a fucking asshole.
Outstanding.
Your exact, I'm going to butcher it, but your quasi quote was, I'm actually mad I didn't think of that.
Yeah, no. Very often I'm complaining about being stolen from after the fact. I'm like, yeah, no, I thought of that, but never told anybody. So therefore, I am enraged. But that all being said, I don't know if he came up with it or if it was just made available to him conceptually. Yeah. The Atlantis theory of it being actually, near the Americas is a legitimate one that floats around out there. The fucking triangle, and like literally these are societies that just up in smoke, disappeared. So you factor in Atlantis and the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, this is stuff that if you're writing, this is like a gold mine to write with. And then you factor in on top of that all of the good feeling that the Wakandans have generated from the Marvel fans for everything that came before. I mean, obviously, we were all gutted. We were all gutted with that loss. But I think they're handling it beautifully. They're continuing. They're continuing that legacy. And the trailer also worked in a very, very good way of not giving it away. Right, we don't really know. We have our own ideas about, okay, who's gonna pick up the mantle, what's it gonna be, what's it gonna look like, but ultimately we don't really know. We're just kind of guessing at this stage. So I'm super duper excited.
You know what's really amazing about it is some of the breakdowns people do for specifically the Wakanda Forever trailer. There are people pointing out things that never occurred to me. It seems, unless the CG just wasn't done, but it appears that Namor's people are flesh tones in the water.
Yeah,
and
nice
blue
detail.
Out of the water, which is fucking genius. And
like
I just saw Joker Stream, who's bringing in the best and brightest. We got Isabella joining us.
Joker with the raid, nice.
Just the being the best of the Jokers. Sorry about it, all the other Jokers. But he just dropped another rumor that the scene where you see a Black Panther about to go toe to toe with Namor might be T'Challa's death scene.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oof, magoof.
But I think even more than that, because again, obviously, the Namor of it all has me having full Batman Forever bat nipples. They're just fully pointy and ready to go. I'm also now excited about shit I wasn't excited about.
Like what?
Quantumania, they're like Bill Murray and Kang. What the fuck are you? What's happening? Let's go. Let's fucking go, John. I was already
And Bill
excited.
Murray as villain.
Just fuck yes.
Who, like, for years and years, Bill Murray's writer was like, you gotta kill me. I'll be in your shit, not a problem. I don't even need a script. Just you gotta kill me at some point. I don't care if it's immediately before credits roll. Kill me. Now, like, he's like, you know what? Fuck it, make me a bad guy. I'll show up. Not a problem. I'm super duper excited about that too.
I mean, again, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Another one that blew me away, and I happen to know for a fact that, again, Marvel unfortunately they've made way more shit I love than not. I just am a pessimist. I was fully expecting Secret Invasion to be like a romp. I was expecting Secret Invasion because of the Skrull of it all. The Skrulls we've met so far have, for the most part, been like, hey, look at the fun Skrull adventure. I was expecting...
like, total wimps.
Yeah. Apparently, because I didn't see it, they haven't released it yet. Apparently, the teaser for Secret Invasion is like, no, bro, we're doing spy badass shit. Like, get fucking ready. Because Secret Invasion is going to absolutely tie in to Phase 6, which is bringing us not only the Fantastic Four, Cousin Paul will finally either be happy or once again really fucking disappointed.
Well, I mean, we got a little bit, we got just a taste of Reed, but he kind of went out like a punk.
Spaghetti? He went out like spaghetti, John.
I did like the way that they toyed with the emotions of the viewers. Is, I guess, strong, but I'll go with it. I'm a strong dude. They were calling for Mr. Jim Halpert and his real life wife to be cast as Reed and Sue for the longest time, and the fact that we're heard. That's really what struck me at this point. I said, look, especially with what fucking Wanda did to him. Do you guys remember that the Play-Doh toy? It was like a Play-Doh barbershop. And he just jammed the clay into their butts and cranked away, and it just grew. That's what that scene reminded me of. I'm like, listen, give him the haircut already. It's enough. It was just clay, Play-Doh all over the place. But just the fact that they gave us that much of who the people were calling for to be cast in the role, to me it says, look, they hear us. They hear us. Even more than Amber Heard being taken out of Aquaman completely, they hear us. We have a voice. Now it's our responsibility, like Uncle Bet said, with great power comes great casting responsibility. That's what he said, right?
Yeah, I think that's an exact quote.
Okay,
but come on, Bruce Campbell to take over that part. Bruce Campbell to star in Aquaman 2 as the love interest. You know what's crazy, and I don't want
attractive man.
I don't want to lower one to raise another, but there's another huge comic book company that allegedly makes movies, where they have a bunch of fans who are like, I want my Batman to be Ben Affleck, and I want Superman to kill and wear black for some fucking reason. And they piss and they moan and they cheat to get weird Academy Awards that are like best cinematic moment. Some person that we all think is a douchebag now running in bad CGI. Bro, let's not jump over my boy Hornhead. The quietest demand ever. We spent a few years being like, hey, Marvel, no, it'd be kind of sweet if we got some more of Charlie Cox as Daredevil, because we like that show, and that show was good, and I like Daredevil. My name's Charlie. I'm not going to sign a petition, but I will tweet how much I like Charlie Cox.
All of my information on an app that requested all that same information 5 minutes prior. Yeah, no, you're right, and you know what, Charlie? I'm going to take it a step further because...
Do it!
The aftermath of the Netflix divorce, it really meant that like the kids kind of didn't know who they were spending Thanksgiving with, and for a while, there was stuff floating around. And as messed up as we are, and I say we in the possessive sense because it was very much me, and I did sign my name to shit. I'm like, yeah, give me back Daredevil, give me back Punisher, give me back Jessica Jones, give me back Luke Cage. Not you, Iron Fist. You could just go over there, learn to fight. We'll talk maybe later on. So yeah, the voices were loud, and honestly, like these individuals might not be necessarily getting their own Disney Plus series. Honestly, fucking even Wilson Fisk, we're gonna get Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox back, not just in an ongoing series, but we're getting it back for Echo. We're getting them back for maybe She-Hulk. We're hearing about, and that's another one. Like if it eventually got back to me, which I'm not sure it would. If it had eventually got back to me, I would have been talking about fucking She-Hulk. She-Hulk was another one of these projects that the moment, I should say this, even before a hint of any kind of content was put out there, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna mispronounce your name so badly. I won't even
do it. That's one of the best.
I'll save it for when we actually watch the series. But that all being said, the second that very very early CGI dropped, it was like an instantaneous boo, boo. See, we told you. You told us what? Boo! What the fuck are you talking about? I felt just like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas. I'm like, what are you talking about, Hendry? I'm trying to fuck. You want to help me out? I do you favors. You want to help me? Like they were so instantaneously, boo booing, and look, it wasn't even close to curtain time. So I just got it made me like automatically defensive about it.
I call shenanigans. I'm choking on the shenanigans.
Take that. Take it down.
I call shenanigans on all this bullshit about She-Hulk because that could have the first CGI could have been the final CGI. Is it just a person painted? Are we going to pretend that the Incredible Hulk series wasn't hot fire with Lou Ferrigno spray painted? Eat a bag of She-Hulk flavored cinnamon kisses. I don't know what that product is. I was going to go way too dirty, and I cleaned it up, and now I want a product placement.
She-Hulk
I just feel like it would be like a biscuit or something.
Cinnamon kisses.
I
must be honest with you. It's very filthy sounding, just like it is. You have to do no dressing up. Mission accomplished. Gross.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I do not give a fuck if that CG's wonky. All I know is I saw a red and yellow clad Daredevil roll into frame, and when I tell you my penis rocketed off my body, I haven't found it still. There's a hole in my drywall that it burrowed through.
Did you have gluten? Because that'll do it, bro. That will do it to you.
I've been very low carb, so maybe that played a part of it.
Charlie's like having dreams about a pizza, and his penis like, goodbye. Unbelievable.
I mean, again, Slapped in America in the chat, which, by the way, I am never going to get sick of saying Slapped in America, so I expect to see you here every Wednesday, sir.
Yeah,
8 p.m. Eastern Standard. But Slapped's been saying what a lot of us have. She-Hulk, arguably, is the greatest character who has a clear knockoff factor. Lady Hulk, she's She-Hulk, is such a better, don't fight me, a way better character than Hulk. I love She-Hulk. And her breaking the fourth wall to talk to me at home, yes, please.
That's always a fun device, especially when it's not been done to death. But, look,
I thought you were going to say, like, but it has. Fuck her.
Hulk is a very convoluted character over the development. Like the first Hulk was gray, and the fact that like talk about having fluidity in a character. Hulk has had more derivatives than Iron Man has had marks flying through the air at this point. So like there's She-Hulk, but I would argue the point Nah, son. To me, the best version of Hulk is fucking Red Hulk.
With the
He's the
mustache.
one who naturally, duh. Come on.
More mustaches in cinema.
Porn mustache Hulk has to happen. Black fingernails. Like, how do you have a Thursday night bowling league mustache at the same time that you have Hot Topic black fingernails? Like, you're talking about like mixed messages. Are you gonna take away my allowance this week, or are you taking me to a Primus concert? What's it gonna be, Red Hulk? What is it gonna be? And granted, with Thunderbolts kind of wrapping phases up, I mean the
We gonna find out.
possibilities are endless. But yeah, there's been 1,000 versions of Hulk, not always Banner. Even most recently, we have Amadeus Cho running around. Again, we have Homeboy with the long green ponytail. I mean, like, it's almost like becoming a pastor online. If you send me $20 and you fill out a form online, I too can make you a Hulk by the end of business tomorrow. Go to my website, Hulk
That's
Plus.
That's what Bruce tells all the bitches. I can make you a Hulk, baby. Wink, 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 wink.
What about all the
John,
specials that are dropping though? Like, there's gonna be no shortage of kind of like short one-off specials. The Guardians Christmas special. There's
fuck
gonna be a
yes.
Halloween special dropping. Marvel is playing with the ultimate house money at this point. I was just reading something the other day, talking to keep it in the Marvel landscape. Fucking the original Blade, which
Wesley Snipes?
holds up. Which holds
Oh, yeah.
up. The original
Wonky
Blade
CG
movie.
in the end, but
Regardless, the result I'm talking about of the release, that movie made like $125 million. They were not expecting 124 of it. That movie effectively saved Marvel.
yeah.
Not Marvel movies, not Marvel mansions, not Marvel's building in Manhattan, which they did have to move out of and tried to skip out on their bill. That's a fact. No, I'm talking about Marvel. Period. Marvel Comics almost ceased to exist. They were at a stage where they were selling off. That's the reason why there's so much division, and Sony still owns them, and whatchamacallit, the Fox did for many characters. They had to sell off individual characters just to keep the lights on, and ultimately it really was Blade. With that huge infusion of talk about green. Forget about Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk. The green that matters is right here, baby. Blade saved Marvel, and that is the honest truth.
And I mean, there's something about momentum. There's been a lot of talk because again, it's naysayers online. They barely count as people. Not you guys watching us. Y'all dope. But there's a lot of people that's like Marvel's lost its way, and they just dropped their giant fat red and white Marvel schwanz right on the fucking counter. They were like,
they're
"Look
like-
what we got planned."
Like, hey, hold on a second. Just hold this. I got to real quick. I got something to say. And they just fucking put out these huge. And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, we had not gotten multiple phases laid out, like mapped out like this before. And I think that maybe they were reading the writing on the wall, and they say, you know what, we're losing a little bit of brand, kind of like not brand loyalty, but like brand good feelings. Let's go ahead and really lay it out for them, because whether you liked it or did not, Eternals didn't necessarily do what they had hoped it would. Even Thor is getting mixed reactions, to say it to put it gently. What else? Miss Marvel
Was the greatest thing
mixed
ever.
reaction. Again, we'll
You
explain
and
things to
Joker,
Charlie
not
later
fans.
on.
That's fine.
But the Hawkeye, even some people did not like. So Marvel did want to kind of answer, I think, those naysayers. But they did. They certainly freaking did. That's the
And they
fact.
just like wouldn't fucking stop. I heard the Guardians trailer like brings you to fucking tears. I heard every single thing
you.
teased. I mean, I gotta tell you, the strength of the Black Panther trailer made me excited for the Ironheart series. I could give a fuck about Riri Williams.
Well, we know it's gonna get set up though, and that's the thing. Fucking storytelling 101. If I'm like, hey, there's this character, and they're gonna have the adventure of their lives, and you're gonna say, who gives a shit? I don't know who you're talking about. And at least cinematically, fandom, they don't know Riri Williams, not enough to like care about her fucking her ironclad adventures. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that that's only going to be one of the many, many things that Wakanda Forever is going to do. But just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I had mentioned that Blade did indeed save Marvel by doing one thing, and that's not killing vampires, is by paying the damn bills. So we're going to go ahead and make like Blade makes and pay some bills. So Charlie, why don't you tell the good people how we do that? Would you?
Oh, I will, and I'll start off by letting you lovely people at home know that we're not like these other shitty podcasts that just take money from ball shavers at random. No, we're sponsored by people we can support, and that's why today we are brought to you by one of our absolute favorite bands of all time, and that, of course, is Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro. You're going to hear a brand new track off their brand new LP at the end. If you want to know where you can find their act, you can follow them over at Bad Mary Band across all social media platforms, and you can support them over on patreon.com/Bad Mary Band. You can stay up to date at badmary.com for merch and upcoming performances. But my favorite part, brother, is I'm all about that free. And you can get their entire discography anywhere you can stream music online.
Hell
How
yeah.
fucking cool is that?
It is very cool, but it does leave one question, and that is, yo, where we dropping with Sergeant Finesse? You can find him gaming over at Truvio, Trulo, Trulia, some kind of new fucking platform, but also as well as Facebook. Multiple streams every day, outstanding video game content, supporter games, co-streams, giveaways, contests. Don't be a sucker. Check them out today. If it need a pick-me-up, and I do, I am tired as a mug, go over to sneakenergy.com, use code SGT at checkout when the Sarge is on deck. You salute. GG, son.
Word. As you take that giant sip, I won't say anything hilarious, but that's a nice preview for next week. I am so funny during the ad break for the future, which is our past, but it's everyone else's also future.
Not really sure
Paradox.
how to handle
I do need to clarify one thing
that.
before I turn to you for some of your favorite San Diego Comic-Con action, John, and that's Cousin Paul. Shaving balls is a superpower. My superpower. I'm sleeky smooth.
Charlie's gross, wet seal-looking testicles is the primary reason that I am very anti-SeaWorld.
It's also why he stopped eating chicken, because the skin, just look, you stretch it out, a little veiny, just like your boy.
Dynamite dropping. Charlie, hey, monkey, go ahead and hit that shit. You know what to do. But yeah, so Marvel and the Indies were not the only ones over at San Diego Comic-Con, though.
Are you sure?
If you look at the layouts, if you look at the what's coming out of it all, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Would I?
I mean, you would for sure. You definitely would, because DC was also surprisingly there, much to many people's shock. Yeah, maybe not. DC has really, they it's almost like they need to hire, not so much Charlie, but like some kind of a reputation management organization to put out good news, good feelings. And I'm not talking about the bots that Snyder hired to be like, oh yeah, look there, we really want the Snyder cut. Oh, listen to all those voices. No, I'm talking about actual, real fucking people. So, again, DC did come out with certain things. Predominantly...
Like The Rock cosplaying The Rock, raining down lightning. That was pretty fucking cool.
All right.
I'll give credit
Charlie wants to go first. So, all right, Charlie, you can go ahead and steal it away.
Sorry, my bad.
Wow. So, yeah, so Charlie, not so subtly, drag the steering wheel over to
I
Black
forgot it was your
Adam.
segment.
No, that's easy to do, especially when I was talking. But that's fine. So yeah, Charlie, why don't you tell the good people what you thought about Black Adam, one of the very, very few offerings from Detective Comics.
I think if you're going to come to San Diego Comic-Con, and if you have like 5 things to reveal, and 4 of those
Did they
things
though?
have questionable quality, I think you need to be like, Dwayne, we need you to dress up. We've bought a crane, and we're gonna have like a motherfucking light show.
You got a crane for Comic Con? That's awesome. Are you gonna have all of the DC projects on like a giant billboard and you're gonna raise it up in the middle of Hall H? No. We got like 4 things, and we're gonna raise you in your pajamas up on the crane. Is that cool? All right, cool.
I feel like Black Adam is one of those flicks that I'm excited to see based on how excited a dude was making it. So how some people feel like when they go to their kids' soccer game and their kids at home can't lace up their cleats, they're not particularly coordinated, but like the coach was like, I'm putting Jimmy in. The Rock is my Jimmy. I'm like, look at how happy Rock is. I'm going to go spend $15. Ellis may have
Ellis
actually
coming
come up with a
in
hell of a
late,
game plan.
but coming in with a straight fire. Ellis joining us from Facebook. Ellis, our super, dare I say, uber talented color guy. He can do more than that, but that's all we let him do because we're not trying to draw focus. Ellis saying they should have had an Ezra Miller dunk tank to promote Flash. Ellis, I gotta say this. I know a solid 24 Hawaiians who would have lined up right quick to participate in said dunking. But that's dynamite.
That's a good sale. But it's one of those things, Black Adam, I fucking hope it's good. It doesn't particularly
DC hopes it's good too. Look, just to
like
throw
more of the
my
same.
2 cents in.
have 3.
Yeah, like we kind
I
of
won't
talked
cut you
about
off,
it. We talked about this before, a little bit of bearing the lead between the brothers Rivera. But I think that certainly we are both on the same page, not surprisingly. But I think that really does reflect what a lot of people's opinions are. It does not look like anything particularly groundbreaking thus far. With the exception of like, oh, look, we haven't seen this character yet. We haven't seen that character yet. But look, DC was first on the block. A lot of their characters are older than the Marvel characters who have been kind of populating the projects over on that side of the street recently. So what that means is, while it's exciting to see a new face, they're not necessarily seeing familiar faces, right? So if somebody says, oh, Dr. Fate, another person's going to say like a quasi, more casual fans, Doctor Strange? No, Dr. Fate. Oh, because I thought you were talking about like a magical guy, like a mystic guy of the arts. Oh, no, he is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, so you're talking about Doctor Strange, right? Like, nah. This guy's got a helmet, bro. Oh, yeah, no, that's very, very different. And they are very, very different, but this is kind of what happens. To a far lesser degree, they are flipping the script because if they say, oh, this is going to be an Atlantean superhero and it's going to come up, it's going to have beef with the surface, nobody's going to look at Namor the way that he was presented in the Wakanda Forever trailer and think Aquaman. No, you're going to think Apocalypto 2. I guess the water just kept on fucking rising. That was like a hell of a storm when the Spaniards rode in on those ships.
That is a specific joke, but a very good joke.
Yeah.
Everyone,
you're welcome to the
after
three
the
of you.
show, if you haven't seen Apocalypto,
Go
watch
on
that
back.
shit.
Yeah.
Come back to 5546.
Yeah.
You will have yourself a giggle.
We'll still be here. We will be here waiting for you. But yeah, look, Black Adam does not look particularly groundbreaking. I love Rocky Johnson. I love everything he does. I'm kind of sort of hoping that Kevin Hart is going to figure out a way to worm his way into a few seconds of screen time.
Damn, Black Adam, how come you always blowing shit up? That was racist. Was that racist?
It was very.
I feel like
it was
may have
very.
been a little
It's a
borderline.
good thing Charlie's the editor of this show.
My
so
apologies.
if it's not taken out, he doubled down. He's like, no, I'm
a-
gonna leave it in.
I'm a shitty editor though.
So, but yeah, so like Hawkman, yeah, I'm very excited to see Hawkman. It's funny because, and I forget his name, so I apologize now. But the actor portraying Hawkman was talking about, oh yeah, I'm hoping that Hawkman gets, 6, 7, 8 spinoffs. I think probably Hawk Girl will. Because, like, Hawkman is so disposable of a character, especially recently in DC. So, I'm not entirely sure if he did much character homework before signing that contract. But, hey, man, more power to you. I hope so, too. But I don't know necessarily that I'm going to be making that bet.
So, I went on a deep dive of, like, plus-sized male DC characters, and I found fucking 2. But I'll tell you this right now. If I got cast as Matter-Eating Lad, I, too, in a press junket, will be like, I really think this character can support a multiple film franchise. It's like, I'll show up in my spandex, I'll eat some matter, and then I'll be a lad. Let's fucking do this.
I hate that you left off with, and then I'll be a lad. Like, this is going to drive it home. Congratulations, me. Let me pat myself on the back as I'm wearing my King Kong Bundy unitard. Sure, that all sounds like a great idea.
Oh, I would show up to that press junket dressed. I'd be in Shazam's outfit.
And just walking
I'd come down to the lightning and shit.
Just like strutting. Charlie would come into the room strutting.
You can tell by the way I do my walk, I'm a Matter-Eating Lad. Got the remix, baby.
We're definitely getting muted for like a few seconds of trademark infringement for that. So well done, Charlie. But yeah, and you know what's sad is because for as little content as DC came to the table with, they literally kept it in the damn Shazam family because Shazam and Family and Co, as those should be called, was really the other big trailer that dropped. And I also like Charlie's ethnic slander. I am also going to double down because as much as I disliked him powering up multiple orphans to equal levels, I doubly hate it now. I hate it. I hate it. What are you freaking doing? So in essence, not only is he not really that special, he just kind of stumbled into the right fucking wizard's abode. He's a trespasser, really, if we're calling things what they are. But literally, this movie could have almost been about anybody else, any one of those other kids. And I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those things where they're trying to explain away why. Well, no, Billy really is special because those other orphans, fuck them other kids, because they took that power and they did not listen to Uncle Ben's rice. And they were not responsible with that power, and they're not being cool about it. I kind of have the... there's zero inside information here. That sounds like
a good movie, though.
Well, but that's what I do. Even when I'm like on the pooper imagining movies, and even when it's a fix to a crappy movie, it's usually better, if I'm speaking honestly.
You're just trying to pull a Mark Bernard and make me cry?
No modesty at all. But that is the feeling. I'm like, okay, maybe that's the way they're going to go, and ultimately they're going to have to come around and be like, oh, no, Billy was right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just going to be like, yeah,
I fucking remember hope
all
not.
These other kids? I don't know.
I'm unimaginative because I saw that trailer, and I was like, oh, Jesus, is this about, like, we got to work together, and everyone's a better Shazam than fucking Billy? That's the vibe I got from the trailer, which I got to tell you, I hate very few things more.
Honestly, he's the worst Shazam out of all the other mini Shazams.
I literally think they're going to be like, they're all better at it.
So he's like Gizmo after he's made a bunch of gremlins?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. Only not as adorable. The vibe I got from that trailer.
Can he please be driving the pink Barbie Corvette at some point, though? And
you know what?
Like Rambo?
If that happens, I'm back in. And again, this is another movie that the first one didn't offend me. I thought it was fine.
It was okay.
But it didn't excite me. It's not a thing I need to rewatch.
The reason why it had any shine on it is because people came and said, well, it wasn't that bad. It was better. It was better is not the same as it was good. Well, it was better than the crap that came before it from DC. Yes. Nobody would deny that. But being better does not mean it's good. And I don't want to see any more nipple down Superman fucking cameos either. Keep them. Keep them.
But Joker in the chat brought up a really good fucking point. Everyone should be running from the Zack Snyder shit. And the fact that this trailer opens and they're like, Joker. Remember those movies that like are unquestionable failures? They took DC's Trinity, one of the most recognizable groups of all time, expanded it out to the 6.5, and it sucked. You did a bad job, guys. Why are we still doing this? Peacemaker gets away with it because it's a joke. You're out of your fucking minds. You're out of your minds now.
You could have shown Batman is one of the most instantly recognizable silhouettes in all of comic bookdom, and you in essence had fucking Ben's 8x10 actor's headshot. They're like, no, but specifically this one's Ben Affleck. See,
it's his wedding
Mr.
photo.
Jennifer Lopez.
It's him and
like,
Jen.
Yeah, I get it. Like a hand shoots in from the fucking side of the screen. It's like, hey, give me some taco flavored kisses.
No, how dare you? Okay, I'll allow it. You know what I think one of the biggest tragedies to come out of DC's San Diego Comic-Con presentation is one thing that got buried was another phenomenal trailer for fucking Sandman. Sandman is quite possibly, you want to talk about course corrections?
Yeah.
If Sandman is half as good as it seems to be, that source material is tremendous. It seems like they worked their balls off to make that show everything it could be. Again, you could be doing witchcraft with the trailers. They've tricked me before.
Yeah,
DC has even tricked me before.
Netflix specifically. Look, Netflix doesn't have everything under the sun, but they have all the money.
Yeah.
Like, they have more money than they literally know what to do with, especially because they're jacking up the prices again. But that all being said, yeah, like, money is not the problem with them, but they have had far, far, far more misses than hits, specifically with comic book properties. Now, the one thing that might be a saving grace for them is that the people who are working on the Sandman project, they have reverence for the Sandman material. You can tell. But on the same token, the Cowboy Bebop crew had reverence for the material also, and that was a miss for me as a big fan.
It's a great example because I do not think Sandman's not the sort of property that can, and this might sound stupid, my bad.
We're used to it, it's fine.
Cowboy Bebop being divisive.
Yeah.
Makes
series,
sense.
You mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Anything less than a triple out of Sandman is wasting some of the greatest content ever made.
Oh, no, without question. But Neil Gaiman has that on his resume. Amazing writer, tremendously smart, gifted, generational talent, almost impossible to adapt. That is on his fucking resume. It's very, very, very difficult. Now, the other funny thing is that much like all the other shenanigans that come about with, like, when they cast different than what the goober sitting at home would have done, it's instant beef, right? So you heard about Homegirl from Game of Thrones being cast as Lucifer, Morningstar, and they had just had a very, very successful, both critically and reception-wise, like viewer reception-wise, adaptation of technically the same character from the Neil Gaiman work. But, like, other than maybe Loki, who else? What other character is out there that you can float a totally different, and Doctor Who? So those
Yeah.
three, where you're like, nope, this is that person now. You're like, okay, and then not have any freaking issue with it. Never mind the fact that, when we get into the weeds of the subject, like angels are neither male nor female. Lucifer is just described as being beautiful as an entity, and that's it. And very, very gifted in the gab department. Joker, thanks for dropping by. Thank you for the raid. Oh, it's always good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Have a good one, brother. But yeah, the funny thing is, from the trailers, and like you said, don't know if it's trailer magic or if it's just a peek behind closed doors. For everything I'm seeing, even the helmet, even Dream's
Fuck yes.
helmet looks right. I do not care about like different ethnic casting for a fucking for. Oh God! Like, what are we even talking about at this point?
Yeah.
These are characters who are outside. These are characters are not of any one particular ethnicity. As a matter of fact, one of my all-time favorite Sandman dream stories is when he's turned down by the love of his life, who happened to be like this great beauty in Africa,
Yeah.
right? And the way that he looked to her at that point was precisely like somebody that she would see next door when she went to go borrow a cup of sugar. Like, that's how he looked. He did not look the same way that he necessarily looked on the cover. So that's an aspect of the character. So now you're telling me that his sister, that Death shouldn't have that same benefit? Fuck you, man. Like, honestly, if you want to complain and you have some knowledge, then we can have a conversation and we can agree to disagree if that's where we end up being. But if you're coming to a battle of wits and you are not fucking armed, I'm still gonna shoot you, but I'm gonna feel bad about it. You're gonna get shot, kid. You're gonna get shot.
I just think it comes down to, and again, for the fourth fucking time, we'll name drop the fact that Netflix and their trailers are very much the equivalent of those girls on TikTok that are like 96 years old and don't have a bottom jaw, and after a 6-minute makeup tutorial, they look like a supermodel. That witchcraft exists on TikTok
Look, the
and
people that,
in
people
the
that do
halls
it,
of Netflix.
they are good at what they do. That's just the truth of it. But ultimately, we're going to see the content, and at that point, then we won't talk about the trailer again unless we're talking about the trailer like it's George Toyboy Lucas, like it's a damn liar, or if you're
They
like,
lied to
thank
me.
you, trailer, thank you, you did me right. But yeah, just kind of continuing on because they didn't have much. But one of the things they did have, which I was certainly excited about, was that outside the realm of the big or small screen. So sorry, kids, you're gonna have to do some reading. But Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo, Batman Spawn crossover. That is some of the best freaking news. We're gonna get this one shot out. It's coming out like mid-December, so an early Christmas gift if you celebrate. Just awesome. Now look, I've had a couple of go rounds with Batman. Look, yeah, sure, shit gets crazy in Gotham. What are you gonna do? But I have literally never had a day where I was not a fan of Spawn. Matter of fact, the Spawn reboot has been talked about so exhaustively.
My God.
Inside my own personal fourth walls, and a lot of times the conversation is with myself. I'll be honest with you, folks. But to have
You long for intelligent conversation. That's not your fault.
And
it's the world.
And I take baths every once in a while. There's only it's me and Ducky in there, and Bubbles, and a little wine, a little light a candle. You can have some of the best talks. But that being said, I am very, very much looking forward to this crossover. Now, this almost kind of like dips into the realm of the aforementioned IDW crossover, where the Mighty Morphin color-coded kids are running around with the reptiles with a pizza, they're just addiction. Um, but this
Pizza
is
addiction's a
something.
real thing, John.
Sure, sure. Tell your penis to jump back in there, flying off like a monster. Yeah, Ellis, you're right. I loved Leguizamo, in that Spawn movie, and I loved almost nothing else.
Yeah, that was the chicken
Now,
salad mixed into that chicken shit.
the animated Spawn that was on HBO like 1,000 years ago, that was straight fire because that was also really that was almost like an adult Reading Rainbow extended play because they're like, don't take my word for it, check this shit out, and then they just in essence gave us like a quasi animated page by page turning, which was just fine, which is just fine with me.
I mean, that's sometimes what you need out of an adaptation. Um, Again, I think you use this word, but this anemic
Again,
showing.
no, that was yours.
Yeah, the thing that confused me is DC has their version of San Diego Comic Con coming up, where they're gonna do like more reveals. But it's like, why the fuck did you show up to San Diego then? This isn't enough.
But on the same token, like that was a COVID offshoot. The DC Spectacular, there was no San Diego Comic Con because
Yeah.
of COVID. So DC needed, in essence, and I'll give them credit. Give credit where credit's due. They did something, right? And you got to see these cats in their homes, and you could do what everyone does. You look past the people to look at their surroundings, like, oh, that's a stupid coffee pot. Oh, that picture's crooked. As I check mine really quick. Nope, perfect as always. So yeah, that certainly was entertaining. What I didn't like about the DC Spectacular Online here, this is what's coming, were the terrible, like, whenever you're staying in a hotel room at Disney, and like the kids are like, make sure you try these rides. Like, look, I don't believe that you're that excited about that ride. I don't think that you've even gone on it. Like, I was having that same feeling. Like, you don't know these characters. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the fights I've had to have. Like, I did not believe these cats. So, that aspect of it, actually, it's funny to say, it took me out of it. Like, it took some of my enthusiasm because I'm like, this motherfucker's telling me about it, but they're laughing on the inside. Fuck them kids. So yeah, if that's indeed what it is, Charlie, if you're right, and that's the reason why DC had such limited content, and they did,
Yeah.
I mean that would make sense, but I would hate that, and it would be just another example of how Jim Lee and Co. They just don't have their finger on the pulse. I don't know how to better say it than that, and it's sad, because they have such great ingredients over there, and they just keep on fucking making toast.
Yeah, it's just peculiar to see. And apparently Disney also has their own thing coming up. And what the fuck else can Marvel show us at this point? Like,
all they can do is kind of show us behind closed doors of all these projects that they have already freaking announced. I mean,
what if that's what
else
it is?
there?
What if they're like, it's $75 for this one-day Marvel event? You sit down and like, we're just gonna show you all the movies and TV shows, and it's like 3 days later.
Oh.
Eyes are red, bleeding.
You need an IV. You like lost 2 sizes, and yeah, no, that's some crazy.
I just, with that being said, man, this hasn't moved my needle at all for DC. No part of me is more or less excited. I was gonna go anyway.
We said it 7 times, and it's still
it does
true.
feel very much like maybe they convinced me to go see it in like IMAX.
They didn't
Like,
though.
I'm like, it looked pretty.
But they didn't. They
It's too
didn't
dark.
because at this point, look, it's almost like politics. At this point, your mind is already made up. You're gonna see this. You're not gonna see that. If they were looking to sway people, at least on the DC side, because that was the conversation, Charlie. I do not think that they did that much. But the bottom line is this: we've talked a lot about a lot of things coming. Charlie's coughing like a goddamn maniac, but we're gonna still let him close. Because the only thing that we haven't done, covered a lot of ground, but we did not cover how we close each and every episode of the greatest nonsensical podcast known to the multiverse. So, Charlie, I'm going to reluctantly hand over the reins to you. Take us home, baby!
Well, my dear brother, it is oh so simple. First, you gotta turn the power on. Then you gotta turn the volume up. Then you gotta tune Bad Mary in. Open up your window wide and scream out into the night sky, "Save me, Space Girl!" We out.